Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7 on hot7025fm.com.
Yo, it's Tavon Greatness Patterson. Want to listen to Hot 702.5 on the go? Download the Hot 702.5 app on the Apple Store or Google Play Store if you got an Android like me.
Let's get it.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Cheryl Underwood, and you're tuned into the hottest news station on the planet, Hot 702.5.
This is Hot 702.5.
Hi. Hey.
What's up? All your favorite artists.
Check it out. Say my name.
DJ Khaled.
This is Mila J.
Bruno Mars.
On hot7025fm.com.
Tune in now on hot7025fm.com.
All right. You guys are tuned in to the Shady Ass Tea right here on hot7025fm.com. I am fine ass Carrice, and I am here with my cousin host, sir.
Hey!
Wait, let's
am
talk
I
about...
echoing?
I think we good. But let's talk about how we twinsies, though, and we didn't even plan it.
I don't do that. My titties is... My titties is tittying right now. I gotta bring those down. Take them
Shout
down.
Shout out to
like
being on the same wave, okay?
Hello.
That's what's really going on right now.
You should have seen. I had this on. My afro was fully afroed today.
It was afroing.
My afro was afroing. I was giving them full black power. That's what I was. I'm dressed in all black, like the Omen.
Me
right
too.
Now.
And I had on a long trench coat too.
I was giving
and I got on some black J's. So
I was giving their ass Black
outside
Panther
right now.
Hello, I was not playing with them. Not at all. A little bit today. So it's still Black History. The rest of the year
is.
You know what I'm saying? We are that. We are Black History. For real.
So listen. Black History Month is over. Women's History Month is in, which is kind of like Black Women's History Month. I mean, that's what it is for me.
Right.
I don't know what it is for y'all, but
it's definitely that for me.
Okay.
It's definitely giving Black women history.
Okay, I'm here for it.
Yeah, 100%. Because I don't know any other women that have an impact on my life. I don't know any, like, there's no white woman, and not specifically what. Yeah, I mean, white woman history is a thing, I'm sure, but like, there's not a white woman and I'm like, oh my god, this white woman has really changed my life. Like, I know some nice ones. I know some kind ones. I just don't know any ones that are like impacting my life in a way that I'm like, I have to like acknowledge this white woman.
Yeah.
I feel like the ancestors would be like.
What about in Congress, the lady who passed away last year? Why can't I not think of her name?
Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Ruth.
Yeah. But that was an old white woman.
Wait.
She was.
Wait. Did she not get?
She had been white a long time. You know what I'm saying? So she had a long time to get it right.
Chill.
I'm just saying, if somebody that old had got it wrong before and was like, you know what, God, let me see another day.
But you're saying, okay, I feel it.
You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying.
Black Women History Month. we outside. We are outside. What you been doing this week? What's going on?
I'm busy trying to, planning events and trying to spend other people's money. That's all. You know what I'm saying? Trying to stay in.
Trying to spend, Joe?
A few 20, 50,000. Just somebody else's money though. Like, it's not my money that I'm spending.
You say
if it was my money, I'm spending
50,000.
Something like that.
How much is 50,000 exactly? I'm just trying to see something. How much is
the max I can spend is 50, but I'm trying to come in at like 35. And so, so I can get more
you need
money.
To book the radio station to do something.
I would love to book the radio station to DJ, 100%.
Then why don't you? What you waiting on?
We're gonna fly here.
We're gonna talk about that offline.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that because we definitely can have somebody come.
Use my corporate lines.
T.
We're gonna talk about that offline. Okay.
T. We can. Because I do need a DJ. 100%. And I know one.
Several.
I know several DJs. I do.
Yeah.
Let me know what I'm about to lay down on the ground. Not I work at a radio station, but I know several DJs. I'm about to lay down. Okay.
Well, listen.
That's what you call work-life balance. That's what you call separating work from your actual life.
We got a hell of a show for y'all today. We got a whole lot of tea to spill. We got some recaps to do as well. Last week before we left, I talked about the white lady. White officer who was getting gangbanged by the department. Okay, I don't.
You did talk about gangbangs.
We should narrow it down to the 5. I don't think we should.
You think it was more than the 5?
I feel like it was the department. Okay, because remember last time we reported, it was the chief had gotten suspended for not addressing what was really going on.
That's true.
So that's the tea. That's the real tea right there.
So okay. So we talked about Gangbang Island, right? And being a guard at the gangbang last week. And so, do you remember that conversation?
Yes, I do.
Okay,
with the El Salvadorian inmates, 40,000 of them.
Right, at the gangbang. And so, she was actually at a gang, not like a gangbanger bang, but like the bang bang. And now she has a lot to say about that situation.
Do you remember, this is the thing, is that when it first came out, she acted as though, she was
chill.
With it. She was with it, and her husband and her had a open relationship, so all was well. It was no drama. But I don't know.
Have you ever met a girl that got a train ran on her? You never known a girl like that? I'm sure you have. In school, you've met a girl that was like, that's the girl you ran a train on.
I never knew for a fact, and that's that's good. I never knew. You hear guys say, "Oh, we ran a train," but did you really?
Okay,
so be lying.
Okay, so I will spill a little of my own tea.
Okay. You know what? I probably don't even want to know, child.
Well, no, I didn't do anything wrong. It wasn't me. So when I was in high school, there was this girl. She was a white girl.
I feel like this go left.
It's not. I was in high school. There was this white girl who was very fond of the football players at the school I attended. And she was after school watching the football practice, and Noir Karma says she know when she's a pastor's wife now. Just because the train has entered the station doesn't mean it ain't gonna leave.
Drop the tea in the group chat.
Right? Who's past? Oh Jesus! Let me finish. Okay. So she told all the boys that were there, hey, I'll suck all y'all off. I'll suck everybody's private parts. And so they all lined up. I went with them to line them. Then I realized she was actually going to do that. And when the third person came out, I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna. I can't join. So I didn't join into the dick sucking fest. Into the fest. But the next day, she went to the principal and told the principal that she had got raped, which was untrue. And they called us all into the office, and she mentioned my name. She called us all into the office and was like, hey, he was there. He was part of the raping session. That's untrue. So I feel like white women do that. They sign up for lots and lots of, private parts in their face and in their other orifice. And then they be like, oh my God, I was forced.
Yeah, but that's I feel like
historically.
Child, she said we all know her, child.
Oh.
Why do I not know who this is?
I need you to don't send me another video. I need you to send me this information.
Group chat.
Don't send me another meme. Don't send me. Don't even say hey in the text. Just send me the name.
Just that. That's it. No explanation needed. Well, this is the thing is that old girl, ex-officer, okay, she decided that she wanted to, proclaim her innocence. And this is what she said, y'all.
who will say she was a consenting adult who willingly participated in sexual antics in violation of police department policy, and that now she wants to blame others, including one sergeant who targeted her early on.
I know what most people are saying. You know, you could have said no. I get it. But my response to them is that I did say no, and he wouldn't take it for an answer. Eventually, I gave in.
Not rape.
From pressure.
So it's not as easy to say she could have just said no.
She did say no on several occasions. Miss Hall tried to get out of this relationship, and she was not allowed to.
Hall concedes she participated under duress. She's not saying she was raped, but adds that the salacious details made public of sex on the job put her alone center stage and do not tell the whole story.
They isolated me, they shunned me, they accused me, and they blamed me for becoming a victim.
Hall suffered from depression to the point of considering suicide, and at one point was hospitalized. She felt trapped.
My supervisors worked together to take advantage of my vulnerabilities and my mental health. And they used it for their gain and sexual pleasure.
And that included the police chief, Chip Davis. The independent investigation found he was aware of what was going on and even received intimate photos and videos of Hall.
Who do you even turn to when the chief of police is sexually harassing you? How could I get justice when the entire system, including the chief, not only condoned such behavior, but participated in it? I was lost and I felt alone.
Child.
I had no one to turn to, and I had nowhere to go.
Hall now realizes her career in law enforcement is likely over, and she knows those ugly memes on social media will remain forever. Her reputation sullied.
No woman should ever have to endure this type of abuse. What happened to me during my employment at the Laverne Police Department, it should never happen to anyone.
Hall now hopes to put what happened to her here at the Laverne PD behind her. She is married and says she has a strong family support system and says that it was her faith that helped carry her through the turmoil.
Okay.
Sir.
Okay, so listen.
I'm trying to keep from cursing.
Listen, when I saw the video, I said, here we go, white women in. Okay, like they are going to come out and they're going to be the victim. They gonna be every single time a white woman does something she ain't got no business, it was somebody made her do it. She didn't make a decision. She doesn't have agency over her own body. She doesn't have agency over her mind. She couldn't have told anybody. And I think maybe if she would have initially said, hey, I felt like I was being bullied right up front. But then she was like, oh no, it was cool. My husband is cool with it. Everything was Gucci. And then when everybody was like, girl, you a hoe. You know you a hoe, right? Girl, you a hoe. And she was like, oh, no. I'm not a hoe. I'm a victim of being a hoe. And so I don't want to, I want to tread lightly in Women's History Month, even though it is Black Women's History Month. I want to be sensitive to the, it's a good tape on Pornhub. She gets a 5-star. Oh my God. I won't be sharing her pornography. Okay?
We definitely will not. Okay.
We definitely won't be sharing her pornography. But yeah, I think that she is fabricating a little bit of that story.
A little bit?
I mean, I'm saying maybe she did feel pressure. I don't want to take away the idea that, your boss is...
it's one thing to feel pressure, smash up one.
Right.
Girl smash up the whole department.
Well, no, maybe she and
then it's now saying it's not rape. It's just that I felt like I was under duress.
She felt like she couldn't say no.
Sir, okay, picture it. Okay,
Sicily.
Houston, 2023.
Right.
You got the new gig, right?
T.
Boss was like, hey,
I be wanting my boss to sexually harass me though. I do.
What's the next?
I got
story?
some fine bosses.
What's the next story?
Well, I mean, if it's okay,
because we do not need HR to log into this. Okay, what is the next? Please extract that from the record. It was just jokes.
Those are jokes. Unless you gonna do it. Just saying. So since we're talking about women,
Nicole says victim. She is not. Facts.
See, I'm talking about women and men in power using their powers against the women that are under them, literally and figuratively. We do have to talk about Deborah Lee.
Whew. And those of you who don't know who Deborah Lee, who is Deborah Lee?
Deborah Lee is the former president of BET, CEO of BET. She was the head. She was that light-skinned lady that was in the audience all the time. She looked like a vampire. She was always in a real nice, expensive dress in the front row, looking like this. She always looked like she was scowling, but like in a really, really expensive way. I like Deborah Lee. She looked like a villain, and I liked it a lot.
I didn't think she looked like a villain. I thought she looked like she was about her business. I appreciated Deborah Lee becoming the CEO of Black entertainment television. Like I'm here for it. My only concern is she put out a book, and in the book she describes a situational affair that she may have had with someone.
Who was the affair with?
I'm not spilling the tea. I'm gonna let her spill the tea for y'all. Okay. When I find the clip properly, that could be helpful.
Clips are helpful, but let me tell you, if it's who I think it is, and who I hope it is,
we're gonna see. Let's listen.
Well, I wanted to tell that story because the power dynamics are so important in a relationship, and especially if you're in a relationship with someone you work for.
Right.
And we all know the potential pitfalls. I worked for Bob Johnson for 10 years before we had a personal romantic relationship, and he was a mentor, and he pushed me, and he's responsible for a lot of my success. We did have a relationship while we were both married. We ended up both divorced, and then people knew about the relationship. The company knew, the public, we started going places together. The downfall of a relationship like that is if you want to get out of it. And that's the part where it came, and I wanted to break up. I saw it wasn't a long-term relationship, and my job and my career was held over my head. And it was like, well, if you want to break up with me, then you can leave tomorrow. And that was, 20 years into my career at BET, so I would have lost everything. Yeah. I would have lost my career, my job, my ability maybe to get another job, because if I couldn't get a reference for the person I worked for 20 years, how do I explain that? And by that time, I was a single mother with 2 children. So it was a tough time, and I didn't have anyone to talk to about it because I didn't have female role models. There weren't a lot of women ahead of me. I was embarrassed to talk to my family about it. So it was a dark time, and what saved me was therapy, and eventually Bob left the company and I became CEO, and I was CEO for 13 years without him being there, and I was able
a lot of success.
Right, and to live my dream, and without.
All right, sir, thoughts?
Okay, so I don't want to sound racist, right? And I don't want to be, because I know how I was talking about the young lady who slept with the police department. This, I think, is a different situation, right? Because number one, there's only one man, right? Well, 2 men, her husband and the other man she was sleeping with. But just saying, let's call a thing. She was sleeping with 2 men at the same time,
and he was sleeping with 2 women plus more, probably
plus more. Now, him holding her career over her head like that seems hella scandalous. But she ended up on top, for lack of a better phrase. I'm just saying. See, would you affair with Bob for however many years to be CEO of BET for 13 years?
Have you ever heard Bob speak?
I have.
Another thing that we've learned recently is that he is a Trump supporter. Okay. So he doesn't have great decision-making skills, which is likely, and that was reflecting in his later years of BET. Okay. Which is why it was time for him to get the hell out of there.
Right.
Okay.
Right. She still kind of looks like a villain, and I really love it.
Villain?
Yeah, like, and not. You know how Lynn Whitfield looks like plays the rich, mean lady in all the things?
You think like you're equating that to that?
Yeah, like that. Like that's how she looks. Like she may not actually be a villain, but like she looks really snatched and like she's always really put together. And it just looks like a villain in a movie to me. The mean black lady.
I mean, she
in the
should
movie.
be put together. She's almost a billionaire.
No, I understand, but you see what I'm saying, though, right? Like it's not.
I'm gonna look like a super villain.
Super villain, yes, that's a look. You want to look like a super villain.
This is my thing. Is that they were having an affair consensually.
Yeah.
They end up divorcing probably, and I'm
because of the affair.
It's an assumption. Okay, this is not tea.
It probably was.
They got caught.
Yeah, that was part of it. There was other things.
Maybe he was like, man, it's time for you to get rid of your husband. I can see him saying something like that. Bob, his wife was probably trying to get rid of him anyway.
The fact that he was going by Bob is just still like as the black man at the age he is still going by Bob. I'm like, okay, sir, we get it. You love the white man. You love him.
I mean, it's nothing wrong. I know some black people named Robert. I call him Bob. I know some people that we called Larry before. Their name was Lawrence.
I don't know any of those people.
All I'm saying is
I don't know any of those people. I don't know him.
All I'm saying is that she spilled the tea like it was nothing. Okay,
right.
She's like, yeah, we had an affair, and
right.
And he said I either had to stay in this relationship,
right,
in order to further my career, and it was what it was. But I wonder during the whole time if she was not allowed to be with other people. Because that can make it even more complicated. Because they weren't openly. Well, maybe because she did say they started going to things together.
Yeah, right.
So maybe they were openly dating. But if you tell me that I have to date you in order to progress, I'm probably already mentally checking out, even if I did like you. Because I'm like, oh, you're not gonna tell me.
How far am I progressing?
CEO of BET, I'm in that thing.
I'm in that thing. Listen, I'm gonna ride it out.
Oh boy!
Just like she did. I'll bob on it. That's what Noir Karma said. She said, "I'll bob on it."
I'm in it.
I'm on that thing. Like I'm in here. I'm in it to win it. I'm CEO is every time. You know that meme.
CEO of BT. Like it's this. Like if it's CEO of something else. Let's see. What else would you not really do this for? CEO of what else?
Twitter.
You would do that for CEO of Twitter?
No.
You wouldn't?
Mm-mm. Not for CEO of Twitter. I don't even know.
Probably worth more than BET right now.
True, but I would be happy to. I'd be like proud to be the CEO of BET. I would just be happy about the checks of being CEO of Twitter. Like I don't want to. I'm not. I wouldn't be proud of Twitter as a company. There's a lot of. I mean, if you're gonna sleep.
Nora Karma said, "Man, I do this for the general manager position at McDonald's." Not McDonald's.
The GM of McDonald's.
The CEO of McDonald's. I'm down. Sign me up.
100%. CFO, sure. Any C suites, E suites, we gon'. I'm gonna be like
a Fortune 100 company.
I'm gonna be like Jada Pinkett on Set It Off.
Bob it out for a decade.
I'm gonna be Jada Pinkett on Set It Off. I'm just gonna be laying there. Just and crying in the shower after. That's what I'm gonna do. Cause when you go to the gym for abs, like you're doing that, you hate it. It sucks. You can't eat bread and all of that. But once you get your abs, you're like, this was worth it. The pain was worth it. So you think about it like that.
Those of you who have had a affair or inappropriate relationship with your supervisor, drop that in the comments. I'm curious to know.
I'm curious to know too.
Yeah. Alrighty then. Well, speaking of Jada.
Speaking of affairs.
The thing is that she didn't have an affair. They were broken up.
Continue.
They didn't.
Continue.
Did you not hear? Did you?
I'm not finna get into this with you again. Not today. Not on this today.
Will himself said that he had broken up with Jada. He said they were broken up, and he was ready. He was ready to get a divorce.
Hello.
Why are you on the phone? Who you calling?
Hello. I told her I wasn't talking to her no more about this, and so I'm talking to you. Okay. We're not. Why are we talking about Jada? Go ahead. I'm listening.
Jada did not have an affair with Will.
No, she couldn't have an affair with her husband.
They were separated. They were getting ready to get divorced. He said that I ain't want to be with Jada no more. He was anyway. Okay, fast forward.
Thank you.
She had a consensual relationship with her son's friend.
She was a predator. You got it. You got it there. Okay, go ahead.
You got it there. Okay. So she was having a consensual relationship with her son's friend while she was separated from her husband. Fast forward, they reconciled. Everything was cool. Will knew what it was. They go to the Oscars.
Was it 2 years ago?
2 or 3. One. It seemed like it's been forever though.
Well, it's like
anyway, they go to the Oscars. Chris Rock, who has had reported beef with Will and then has been on some BS with Jada allegedly for 20 years now. That these are new developing newly developed information. So they go to the award show. Chris Rock makes some jokes.
Right.
Will's like, heh heh heh.
He
looks at his wife. His wife is not happy about it, and
right.
he decides to take his own actions.
Goes
and
up slaps him
the shit out of Chris.
In front of millions of people.
And then Chris Rock decides that he wants to tell jokes about it,
which is his right.
Stand up in a special. I guess it's the first live special with Netflix. So there's a couple of concerning things about Chris Rock. My concerning thing is that I've always thought Chris Rock was like that corny ass dude who he probably was a corny kid making weird jokes who always got bullied because he says stupid stuff. Hence, everybody hates Chris.
Well, he does have a learning disability. He does.
So that prevents him. Slow?
That prevents him from understanding social cues.
Oh.
Right. And so he does. And so he does have a right to talk about what he wants to talk about. He can say what he want to say. Sunshine and say why he's so obsessed with me. You talking about Chris Rock being obsessed with Jada Pinkett?
Yeah, for 20 years. You've been on Jada for 20 years. She clearly dissed you.
Do you think that's what it was?
Yes, when he was doing crack on the damn show, she was like, no.
What crack?
On New Jack City.
Girl.
If he would have tried to holler at me back in those crack days on the New Jack City, I would have been like, it's a no for me.
That's when you were supposed to get him before he got rich.
No, we good. We're good. She already had Tupac. She was good.
Yeah, anyway.
As a friend.
So he said some things about Will in the stand up. I don't know exactly what. I mean, I know what he said, but I don't know what he said like that because I can't remember. I think he's funny. I don't know. I like Chris Rock. I always have liked Chris Rock.
Sunshine Ann says, his learning disability ain't got. Yes, ain't got. Okay.
Shizzy to do with Shizzy.
With Shizzy. Okay, that man is a hoe.
Is a culo. Okay.
I think he's is
a hole
because
in your butt.
I've heard him say like jokes like he thought like he was trying to be funny type of jokes, and I'm like, dude, that is not even funny. It's weird.
I think
what is his learning disability? He got ADD.
ADD is not going to prevent you. It's something like autism.
So
it's something to preventing him. I'm not saying he's autistic. I'm saying his learning disability prevents him from understanding social cues.
Okay, well then he shouldn't be giving out any social cues in that case. If you have a problem with receiving something, if you have a problem with receiving information, you should not be delivering it.
I don't think that's how that works. I don't think that's not how disabilities work, man.
Oh, and then too, he also looks like he's a white comedian. Remember when he said that?
No,
he's
I don't.
he's a comedian for white people.
Chris Rock is?
Yeah, and he is.
You think so?
You know what?
Listen.
How long did
I like bigger, louder, blacker. Is that what it's called? Bigger, louder, blacker. That was a good stand up.
The only good black thing that he did was
Everybody Hates Chris
about the hair.
Good Hair was an excellent documentary.
Was it?
I had it on DVD, and I watched it with my kids all the time. I watched the Bronner Brothers show constantly on that on that DVD. But I mean,
the Bronner Brothers,
the Bronner Brothers show, because he went to the Bronner Brothers show and like talked to the people there, like the headliners for the show.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
But I mean, I don't know why people is mad at Chris Rock for still being mad about getting slapped on TV.
But this is the reason why they were mad. So they were mad because of this whole stand-up situation. They were mad because in the comedy special, he calls Jada the B word over and over and over and over again. Okay? He's like, this B this B, this B. And then this B, and then
he was playing BB Bubblegum. Well, he wasn't playing BB Bubblegum.
So my concern is like, could he have addressed Jada without calling her the B word? And why are we assuming that she's a B word? Do we know she's a B word?
I'll say this about Jada Pinkett Smith, and
if it's not facts, don't state it.
No. This is an observation I've made. Okay. Hey, Vicky. There's not the men she has been entangled with all seem worse off after being with her. No one seems better. Like, you know how the men that be with Erykah Badu, like they all seem like a greater man after, like they all seem like elevated and like enlightened. Everybody that leaves Jada Pinkett seems drained and tired.
Who's everybody? Will?
Will looked like he about to die. August was about to die. She just sucked the life out of him. I'm just saying.
I think she sucked the life back into him.
Didn't. Broke that man's heart.
Javon Banks says it's suggested that Chris Rock may have had nonverbal learning disorder.
See?
He should probably not tell jokes then. Okay, that's my thing.
Disabled people can do anything.
Disabled people.
She's a succubus. No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. That was a joke. She's not actually a succubus.
Jada is Jada, and when you use words like everybody she's been with, like who are we talking about?
Whose voice is that? Was that supposed to be my voice?
Yes.
What's that supposed to be? Were you doing an imitation of me?
She's been with, and then she been with Will for 20-something years. She been like, give her a break, child.
She got a break. She been
with, name 5 people she'd been with.
Why would you want me to do that?
Because you can't.
And during this Black History Women's Month. Why would you want me to slut shame this woman in that way? Her numbers aren't important. Right? A woman's numbers don't define her.
Oh,
right?
My goodness.
Ain't that what we say?
I don't understand what this means, Nora Carmen, because he knows that Will was on the do not enter list. I don't understand what that means.
Who's a do not enter? Because I feel like Will has been entered.
What says lies? I don't know about what.
I don't know. But he didn't only talk about Jada. He talked about more than
we only reposting facts on here, dude. Not rumors that you heard on YouTube shorts. Okay.
But he wasn't. He talked about other people too.
He talked about Michael Jackson allegedly, and Michael Jackson's I don't know his family, his brother,
probably
his
nephew.
I think it's his nephew Taj. He said Chris Rock has used my family as a punching bag for his entire career. Yet I am supposed to feel bad for him getting slapped and humiliated on the Oscars. After seeing a new clip of him attacking my dead uncle in the first minutes of his Retaliation I'm Still Relevant special. He basically was just saying he wasn't with the shenanigans.
So are we not supposed to talk about dead people?
He says, I have 3 things to say. 1,
okay.
What did my family ever do to you to warrant these decades of harassment and your constant bullying disguised as jokes? Oh, that is a word. That's a word, and that's exactly what I said. I said he's bullying people. Okay. So it's constant bullying disguised as jokes. 2, he says, just because you were bullied earlier in life doesn't give you the excuse to bully others now. Ooh, these are some words, Taj. Okay.
And
3, thank you, Will Smith.
Okay, so here's the thing. We can't talk about somebody because they did.
It's not that. He's just saying, like, you've been doing this his whole life. You've been talking about my dad your whole career, my uncle your whole career. Like, this man dead, he can't even respond to you at this point. Because I do feel like MJ responded. He might have sent somebody else to do it.
I feel like he called him himself.
Somebody else to do it. Have y'all seen the clip with Michael Jackson? He'd be like, get somebody else to do it. Oh my goodness, that's my favorite meme right now.
Get somebody else to do it.
Saying Michael Jackson's mouth moves and talking about get somebody else to do it.
Listen,
woo.
I think I have dead family, right? And some of the people that have died, on either side of my family, that they weren't cool with me. They weren't my favorite people, right? And they dead now. And I'm like, well, they still ain't my favorite people just because they dead. Even if they went to heaven.
Yeah, but do you talk about them? Have you ever talked about them on a public platform?
No.
Okay, because who cares? It's not even relevant. Like, it's somebody that you don't like. What would Chris Rock's reason be? Like, what would his reasoning be for not liking Michael Jackson? Just because he hung out with Chris Tucker and not Chris Rock? Because Chris Tucker was a homie.
But does talking about him mean he doesn't like him, or is he just?
He's not saying nice things. He's not saying, oh, he was the greatest entertainer of all time. He's not saying that.
He's not saying that. But does everybody have to say nice things about him?
He doesn't have to say nice things about him, but it's like what Taj was saying was, why you keep my uncle's name out your mouth? That's what he's saying.
I get it. I understand the point. Right?
I feel like Chris needed to be slapped, and I feel like Taj was on it. Like when he said, let me read this again. These are 3 things. These are 3 things that he said. Okay?
Here you go.
1, what did my family ever do to warrant these decades of harassment and your constant bullying disguised as jokes?
Not the capital letters bullying. Go ahead. Go off,
2, just because you were bullied earlier in life doesn't give you the excuse to bully others now.
That's true. That's a factual statement.
And then the last one.
Thank you, Will Smith.
Period. For slapping his ass.
All I'm saying is that people can say what they want to say. Right?
They can, but
they can say what they want to say.
But we choose wisely. We choose, and the thing is, it's not even we don't even have to make a conscious effort. It's like, we're not going to talk. People who have done us wrong, who are gone,
yeah, I don't think about
alive,
like legitimately, like in T is like I don't really think about that person anymore.
People who are alive today who have done us wrong, we do not talk about y'all. Like, we just keeping it moving. Like, we got better and bigger things to do. Shout out to all of the people who are on our Facebook Live, our YouTube Live, our Twitch and Twitter right now. Like,
shout out to
we
you.
got better things to do.
T.
With 300 plus people who are watching us right now.
T.
So, like, yeah, Chris Rock, you don't have to talk about everybody else just because they talked about you.
Maybe he feels like he does, though.
Because he was bullied. Yes, he should speak to a therapist about that.
Yeah, he should.
This is our therapy segment right now.
Because we got to bring it up every time. We got to go to therapy, black people. But some people feel like they got to get it out. Like they feel like they was bullied and they have an opportunity to hit back or punch up. Is how they feel. That's what he gonna do.
Sunshine says he was comparing MJ to R. Kelly's music and the selective outrage people exhibited, both being accused of sexual acts against the vulnerability community. The difference is, and Nora Karma said the same thing. The difference is R. Kelly was convicted. Okay,
right.
Let's talk things a thing. Okay,
Okay,
R. Kelly is
facts
being
are facts.
convicted. He is facing 30 years currently in prison, and then also has several
Another
cases
20
pending. Okay, okay, and then too, we know we saw the videotape VHS that was passed around.
Was it a
the
VHS?
neighborhood. Child, it was a VHS. We saw the VHS passed around the neighborhood.
Were there BET videos also on it?
With R. Kelly on it. We did not see with our own eyes MJ doing these things. Mm-hmm. There's a difference between actual facts
and
speculation and accusations.
Mm-hmm. This is true.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Sunshine, yes, we understand. We know you were just explaining.
Yeah, we
got it.
Listen, R. Kelly is a monster.
Nora Carmen says Mike had the money to pay it off. Now, did I tell y'all the story about how when I first started the radio station the first year, this lady came, she wrote a book about Michael Jackson to the station. Mm-hmm. She brought this MJ impersonator who looked just like Michael Jackson. Dude said he lived in the house with Michael Jackson for 17 years.
How old was he at that time?
They're about the same age.
He and Michael Jackson are the same age.
I don't know. He looked just like Michael Jackson. He said Michael Jackson paid for him to have surgery so that he could duplicate him or do events for him or concerts for him if he wasn't feeling well or go do appearances. Dude looked just like Michael Jackson. Long story short, let's think about this. Hypothetically, you got this dude who looked just like Michael Jackson in the house hanging with children.
Wait a minute.
I'm putting the mic away.
Wait a minute.
I'm putting the mic away.
Are you saying?
I said, y'all do what y'all want to with that information. I said what I said.
That's quite that's quite a theory, madame.
He's the one who said that he was duplicated. He's the one who said he lived in the house with him for 7 years.
Yeah, but he didn't say he was finger banging kids.
I didn't get a chance to ask him.
I would have asked him.
Well, I didn't have a chance to ask him. He was supposed to return.
I would have texted him. Hey, was it you touching on them kids, or was it Michael Jackson?
That was my first thought.
That it was him.
It was him, and not
there was a stranger in his house.
It wasn't a stranger. He was there. He lived in the house with him.
Mm-hmm. He was just walking through the walls, touching on the kids, pretending to be Michael Jackson.
My thoughts are risky.
Yeah, I'm telling you. I'm just saying.
That's a word. That's a word, and that's a factual word.
Stranger in my house is Tamia. If we gonna just Noir Karma, if we're gonna talk about R&B divas, that was Tamia when she was in that Black Sand. You remember that video? She
long story short, in order to sum things up, Chris Rock is trash. Period. Okay, glad we closed the case on that.
I don't think he's trash, but go ahead. You go off, Queen.
Taj, you win for the comments.
Does Taj have that painted on hairline like everybody else?
I don't know, Chad. I don't even know who Taj is. I'm sure he has commented before, but it is.
All right then. All right.
It's a lot going on out here in the streets. We're going to end with something very, very, very important. But right now we can talk about John Morant. Those of you who don't know, he plays for the Grizzlies.
Memphis.
It looks like that he was in the club the other day. Mind you, I want y'all to know that he's 23 years old. He was in the club turning up. Okay, he was getting it. 23-year-old turn up. That's what we did, right, sir?
Not me. I was in church. When I was 23. I was praising the Lord. I was. On Sunday, I was in church.
Sir. Me too.
I didn't drink. I didn't smoke. I was just, hallelujah. I was.
This dude here. Okay, listen.
Go ahead. You said he was in the club, 23?
23, turning up. He is a multi-millionaire basketball player. Okay. He's currently not with the Grizzlies because I guess he was suspended indefinitely. However, at first he was suspended for like a couple games, but now they said you black and you were
until whenever.
He was brandishing a gun in the club. the thing that got a little tricky was
Mm-hmm.
they wanted to know how he got the gun to, I guess, Denver, where he was turning up. Okay, because he rode the team
Bus?
private jet, and
Oh, he rode the
allegedly
jet.
he
Okay.
brought. They're thinking that he brought the gun on the jet. What I said is that no, the homie pulled up with the gun
Right. You talking
Period.
to the club?
to the club.
Okay, so
He did
maybe
not-
okay. So you know how when you land somewhere, you go shopping.
No,
You never landed anywhere and went shopping.
for a firearm,
You ain't got to go shopping for. The question is, have you ever landed somewhere and went shopping?
absolutely.
Okay, so he landed and was like, you know what I want? A gun. I need a gun for the club. And so he got on the plane. He landed. He went to the gun store, got him a gun, and came on to the club. And then nobody pat him down because he was John Morant. He came in with the gun. Now he hit it in his ass. Noir Karma say he hinted in his ass. I'm thinking she mean hit.
What I am really saying is that
Mm-hmm.
his friend drove up to Denver to go to the game, and he had it with him in the
Mm-hmm.
car. So then when they went to the club, he was like, "Hey man, protect yourself. You know, I don't really know the laws exactly, but put this in your belt.
In your gooch.
Put this in your belt just in case." And then as he
yes.
was putting it in his belt just in
Yes.
case, what had happened was the Casamigos got a little bit,
Casamigo-y.
Yes,
Got it.
exactly. That's
Got
a good
it.
term.
Got it.
Casamigo-y.
Because I've had that feeling also. Go
And
ahead.
then so when he got Casamigo-y, he was like two-turn. He was like, "I'm a thug. I'm a thug, but my family. I went to a
They was
private
playing
school."
Nuck If You Buck probably.
He was like, "I went to." Was okay.
They was playing Nuck If You Buck. Or that don't start no shit, won't
Yeah.
be no shit.
Was.
And he
he was
pulled
like,
that
"Hey."
shit. Right, you know what I'm saying? For real.
Yeah.
It's been there.
And then the gun was the gun went back with his friend. Period.
So there's no gun. They don't know what a gun is?
No, the gun was. He ain't bring the gun on the plane. With
Maybe
him.
he returned it to the store. Like maybe it was like a borrowed gun. You know how people borrow jewelry?
You know what I'm saying?
Maybe he just borrowed the gun. He just borrowed the gun for looks.
NBA set him free because he got a $230 million contract coming next year. That's all I'm saying is that what I'm telling you is what actually happened. Is that his homeboy pulled up in Denver.
Right.
And was like, "Here, protect yourself." Casamigos got through. Boom. Showed it on the video. Viral. Gun went back in the car. Boom.
Okay.
Game.
I don't know. I think maybe there's a little bit more to that story. I feel like he got the gun because he wanted it. Tactical Life says, "Did you see how he was holding the gun? No technical experience at all. Dude needs to be charged with unlawful possession like a normal person would. Not no technical experience." Okay.
This is
so listen.
But not the name being tactical life though.
He's like, listen, he had no experience holding.
No
Here's
technical
the thing.
experience
At all. He wasn't a professional. But here's the thing: he's not supposed to be. He's supposed to be a professional basketball player.
He said, "Who out here millionaire balling, borrowing guns? Unless you're a hunter. Maybe it was in Denver.
Hello.
They got deer.
Maybe he was hoe
They
hunting.
got bears. Maybe he was like, you know what? I don't know if the bear go get in the club because I don't really know about these Denver streets."
Maybe he
And
thought
then
it was
that's what-
cute. It's a cute look. It was an accessory.
It was, and we don't know if there was bullets in there. We don't even know if that was real good because okay, let's see your cell phone real quick. We don't know if those were bullets in there because we got cases like these that replicate other things.
Right.
All
I'm
I'm
gonna get
saying
it.
all I'm saying is he innocent.
Noir Carmen says she rolling her eyes. I think they hard on they going hard on the brother because he young and rich. He do stupid. I was 23 and I legitimately I've done some stupid shit. Okay, like some stupid things. Dang
it! Now I gotta bleep that out. Okay, listen. So, let's talk about being young and possibly doing some stupid things and being black. Okay. Those of you who have been under a rock, 4 Americans were allegedly kidnapped, according to the United States press, not us, the United States press, those people. Okay. They went, took them out the car. Allegedly now 2 of them were killed and 2 of them are safe in custody with the police.
Safe?
Now,
that doesn't even sound right.
I'm gonna let ABC News tell y'all the story.
Hello, everyone.
Today.
Come on, ABC.
Today?
ABC don't want to tell. ABC don't want to tell us the story. Why they playing? See?
Tell us the story, ABC.
Oh. Somebody help me.
They don't want me to be great. They don't want me to be great today.
You know why? Because you're getting ready to slander.
He was the slander I gave before I wanted to play the clip.
Right.
It was the slander. It was like their media, not
right. It was that slander. It was because of the slander. They were like, you know what? We're not letting that go through. Not you.
See, they're rude. But anyway, let's try this again. Let's see if ABC News can tell us what happened to these folks over in Mexico.
Hello, everyone. I'm Kira Phillips.
And I'm Terry Moran. And today on ABC News Live, 2 Americans are dead after being kidnapped at gunpoint in Mexico. We'll have the latest from authorities and what we know about the other 2 victims who were found alive.
And Fox News Channel airing security footage from January 6th released by Republican House Speaker Kevin McCarthy. How the network's portrayal of that video and what it shows contrasts with McCarthy's own description of the attack.
And California's bracing for more snow, with parts of the state already buried and some residents trapped in their homes.
They really don't want you to be great.
Sierra Nevada mountains just ahead.
They said,
but
not
we
you.
Begin with that deadly kidnapping in Mexico. 2 of the 4 Americans have safely returned to the U.S., while U.S. officials confirmed the other 2 were found dead earlier today. The State Department spokesperson Ned Price actually spoke about the efforts to recover their remains now.
The 2 survivors have since been repatriated back to the United States. That occurred with the assistance of our Mexican partners, with the assistance of our officials in Mexico. We are in the process of working to repatriate the remains of the 2 Americans who were killed in this incident.
So let's go ahead and bring in our Brad Garrett as we talk about the 4 Americans here. Brad, former FBI negotiator and agent. We can tell you that Lafayette McGee is one of the survivors, along with Eric James Williams. Apparently it was Tay that was headed over there for some type of cosmetic surgery. This is the sort of details we're trying to clearly figure out if indeed they are fact or not. But what we can tell you, the 2 survivors there on the screen is Eric James Williams and Latavia Tay McGee. And we're learning a lot more about the incident, Brad.
We are. So
and Terry?
Yeah, let's ask Brad. Were Americans not directly targeted, but these 4 Americans were attacked in broad daylight, then taken it. So if you were looking at this investigation, actually trying to look at the whole spectrum of questions, what would you do? What do you look at here?
Well, first of all, I'd like to know if they were targeted. In an earlier conversation, I mentioned that could they have actually been spotted in Texas and a lookout who's looking for vulnerable Americans to possibly assault, kidnap.
I can't any longer. So
Hello, vulnerable Americans who the Mexican cartel was looking to kidnap and exploit. Why? Tell me why you think Latavia Tay, if Perk 30s was a group. Oh my God, we're not going to do our people like that. Black History Month just ended. We're in Black Women's History Month. Latavia Tay.
That's what you're talking about. Latavia Tay. That's what you're talking about.
First of all, she didn't say the name right. She didn't say the name correctly. The first time, she must have known Destiny's Child is the original 4.
Okay, listen.
Because Latavia was one of the members.
A couple of things. I used to go to Cabo like a couple times a year. Never have I ever. I literally would see the cartel guys around town just with guns, looking like they just protecting.
Mm-hmm.
Never have they ever once bothered me. Somebody needed to get some things from somebody.
You ever wanted them to bother you?
That's where you go get the things from. Okay.
You ever wanted the cartel to bother you?
No.
I did.
Listen.
I was trying to see what kind of trouble I can get into in Mexico, but it didn't go the way I wanted it to.
You don't want to get in that type of trouble. The problem is
you know what I want. You know my life.
This is the thing: is that they're claiming they were targeted. Possibly they could possibly have been targeted. The people who took the video of them actually being taken out of the vehicle were Americans. Okay. So you're telling me everybody else behind them that were Americans, they ain't target them. They only target these 4 good, wholesome black people coming, just going with the one lady to get the BBL.
Why they can't be good, wholesome black people? Because she was down there getting the BBL?
Tactical Life, they were not flashing cash. They were flashing cocaine. Okay, allegedly.
You're being racist.
Listen, the cartel ain't gonna mess with you if you don't mess with them.
I don't know what the cartel gonna do.
Those
were innocent. Those are innocent brothers and sisters. Those innocent brothers and sisters down there on a mission from God.
Says when hoeing in Mexico goes wrong, I don't think it has anything to do with hoeing. I think it has everything to do with drugs. And this is the thing: is that this is how the cartel works based off the things I've seen on television.
based on my extensive knowledge of cartel systems, right?
From my knowledge from watching things on television and also being involved with the cartel on my vacations. Okay, you don't touch me. You don't mess with me. We ain't messing.
Don't start no shit. Won't be no shit.
Won't be none. Okay. They took 2 of them, killed them, and gave the 2 back, and let them go with the police. Tell me that's not me policing tell me that's not me policing my hood.
They were being cooperative with authorities.
The cartel and the police are not one and the same. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
I know
the cartel is not going to release. The cartel is not going to release you to go talk to the police. That's why they had to come up with the BBL story. Like, oh yeah, what's going on there to get a BBL? One of the dudes is married to somebody else. Okay.
That don't mean he can't be in Mexico with another woman getting a BBL. Maybe they have an open relationship
with 2 other men.
Maybe she was on that police officer deal. She was like, you know what, I'm finna get choo-choo.
MJ, we're trying to do the best detective work we can do. Okay. Tactical Life says RIP to them, but this is the second high-profile case. Listen, how many people died in Chicago last night, Tactical?
Hello? How many people died in Houston?
How many people died in L.A. Last night?
In Houston.
Houston. How many people jumped out of a building or were thrown out of a building in Las Vegas, Nevada last night?
2.
Okay, let's not play those types of games, okay? Because I am very well aware that certain media companies that wouldn't allow me to play their video properly today, okay, definitely are pushed to highlight certain things, especially when we're not being given the things that we want as a country, allegedly.
So are they bullies? You saying they're bullying people?
No, I think that they were policing their hood. They're policing their hood. They probably was. I don't know. I would just say it's a possibility they were on some extra stuff. And with them being on the extra stuff, the cartel was like, hey, not up over here. And they probably gave them a chance, and they was like, oh, no, not up over here.
I don't know.
As a result,
I think they were just down there getting a BBL.
I'm sorry, sir. If me and you gangsters, right? I'm definitely going to be the leader of the cartel, Jefe.
You going to be Jefe?
Lady Jefe.
I just want to be like in a room.
Okay, I'm Lady Jefe. We only got 1 minute. I'm Lady Jefe.
Okay, go ahead. You got
Lady Jefe, I'm there. Some people try to come up in the hood. You protecting and serving along with West, right? You and West protecting and serving. People are trying to do some things in our territory, and we have given them warning. Hey, this ain't it.
Right.
Okay, you keep on at it. We're gonna have to teach you a lesson. You and West decided to teach him a lesson, and then be like, "Hey, man, if y'all cool, we gonna let y'all go." But these 2 right here was not. They were not cooperating.
Right. So I mean, If you get killed, you get killed. If he dies, he dies.
Nora Carmen says she's Maria. Tactical
Come on,
says it's
Queen
not
of the
news
South.
is what I meant. Okay, we feel you. Tactical, yes, exactly. It's not news. The cartel runs that ish. Come on now. We know it was drug related, and they sent them back to tell a story. I don't even think, and the thing is, they ain't gonna tell the whole story because they over here still talking about the BBL situation.
That's what I would have said too.
Long story short, the show's over. Okay, y'all had all the tea that we could
muster.
That we could pour out in this whole hour. Okay, thank y'all all for tuning in to the Shady Ass Tea. Do us a favor, click that share button, tell your friends about us in case they missed the show. You definitely want them to watch. And then tomorrow, while you're at the office or whatever, tune in to iHeartRadio, Spotify. You can go to Apple Podcasts, click that play button on Shady Ass Tea, put it on repeat, run those numbers up for us, and listen. You know what I mean? It's a good time. You may have missed something for sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right, sir, where can the people find you on social media?
The Sir Armstrong on Twitter and IG, and Sir Armstrong on Facebook.
All right, you can find me on every single social media platform at Carrice. That's ECARRICE. And I guess we will see you next week, y'all.
Bye.
Your bye was hella delayed. Bye, y'all.
Goodbye.